Hey, my loves. I know you guys missed me. I missed you guys. I've been had a very hectic last few days. As you know, we're in the middle of the 48-day obedience challenge, where we do a challenge every day from the Bible, and it's not really a challenge. It's just being obedient. It's taking the time to learn um, what His commands are, what being obedient is. I've always said that you don't have to be holier than thou to be obedient. I wasn't raised in a church. Everything I learned on my own, reading, spending time with God. But I do remember my grandma used to always tell me the church is in you. And that's, now I see that. Now I understand that. The church is in you. Because a lot of church folks get into the stigmatism where they feel, and I'm not knocking them, I'm not saying don't go to church. What I am clarifying is, though, that they're so apt to being in church on Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, in between Bible studies, at night Bible study, all these different things. And the sad thing is they're repeating the same thing over and over again. They're not really learning anything. So they're so apt into, you can't wear this, you can't say this, you can't do this, you can't go there. They forget all about being obedient. They're so worried about being holy and being righteous till they are forgetting some of the basic commands, and it's not making them righteous. So that's what I mean by you don't have to be holier than thou to be obedient. When you develop that relationship with Christ, yeah, you're going to change. You're going to do things differently. You're going to speak differently, but you are who you are. And that's what God sees. God sees your heart. He doesn't see the fact that you're in church 5 days a week. He doesn't see that you're praying with people the other 2 days, and all these different acts, because you're doing stuff out of repetition. You're doing something out of glory. See, when we do things, we're not doing it for our glory. We're doing it for God's glory. Because what I've learned, and I know many people can testify to it, when you go through a situation, it's for God's glory. It's giving God that opportunity to say, I am still God. I am God. So that's why you go through those things. So you doing all that extra stuff and just doing it repetitively, you're forgetting about the basic stuff. And so that's the 48-day challenge, is teaching you basically the commands again. And they're actually simple commands that we're supposed to be doing, but we get so caught up in everything else that we're not doing it. So that's what the 48-day challenge is. We should be doing these things already, but we're not. So we're learning them. Some of us are learning them. Some of us are relearning them. I do apologize. I know if you're following me on Facebook, then you know that I've still been posting my challenges every day. I just haven't made the videos because it's been very hectic. I received an award on Saturday, so that kind of took up a lot of my time getting prepared for that. So I didn't do that. Also, I know I mentioned to you guys before that I was doing the new Proudly Standing round table. So that is taken away. That's actually taken off amazingly. So the first interview is going to be tomorrow. So I had to get all of that together for that interview. So that took time. And then, of course, as you know, I have the Proudly Standing group, and I've been mentoring a lot of females. So sometimes that's a little time consuming, a little bit more than I want. Well, no, not that I want, because I don't mind mentoring them, but sometimes it's a little time consuming, so I can't do the other things that I need to do, because I'm particular. I have a little itinerary of everything that I do daily. So sometimes it gets cut off when I'm doing something different, but I don't mind helping the women. So let me clarify that. I do not mind doing that. It's just sometimes it does stop me from doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So with that being said, we've missed a few days of videos on the 48-day challenge. I stopped on 4 and 5 the last time. So we're actually on number 9, the 9th day of the obedience challenge. And to be honest, I think we should have been like maybe 2 days further, like on day 11. because I didn't, like, I know Saturday I didn't post, so I know I'm behind that day. And so we've got a couple more days that so yeah, we're on. I know I missed Saturday, and I think I missed one other day next week. So I really think we're supposed to be on day 11. So I'm super sorry, but either way, I'm sticking with it. If you're following the Facebook, keep up with it, and definitely share and get other people involved, because the more that we're obedient, the more our faith increases. The more our faith increases, the more we shake heavens. We are the light of the world. So we have to walk, we never know who's following us. So we have to walk that thin line. You know, we have to be prepared to minister at any moment. We have to be prepared to minister even when we don't really know we're ministering. So, you know, just be cautious of that, and learn these things, and stick to the challenges every day. Somebody did request that I put the 48 challenges in the comments. So if you go back to the very first video of day 1, you'll see the challenges there, but you're gonna have to give me just a little while. They'll be up for you guys to see that. So with that being said, we're gonna go with day 6, which was be reconciled. Super simple. All he's saying is, if you have hurt somebody, you lied to somebody, if you stole from somebody, if you've mistreated somebody, go to them and apologize. It's just that simple. Try to make it right. You know, if you can repay the debt, repay the debt. If if you can return something that you've taken, then do that. However you can make that situation right, that's what reconciling is. So don't leave a bitter taste in somebody's mouth. Make whatever situation bad, do your best to try to make it good. God's going to see that. If that person doesn't want to see that you're trying to make things right, then God deals with them accordingly. But God also deals with you accordingly. He sees that you did go and try to make things right with them. So just be reconciled is number 6. Number 7, do not lust. Again, super simple. Lust is more than just lusting for somebody else's husband, lusting for another wife, or another female. Lusting could be for clothes. Lusting could be for a car. It's just where lust basically, how should I say this? Lusting is more where you're just so caught up in what you want and what you desire that you cannot do what's right. That is the best way to say it. Me, for instance, sometimes if I get really stressed, I like to eat, knowing that I shouldn't spend that extra money. I'll go do it anyways. It could be an outfit that I see and I really, 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 really want it. Knowing I shouldn't go spend that money, I do it anyways. And the list just goes on. But lusting is basically where we put ourselves in a position to where we're not being obedient, we're being careless, we're being reckless, we're being selfish, we're being inconsiderate, because we are more worried about our own needs. So do not lust. And that's why he said that, because we're putting ourselves in that position where we're being disobedient, we're being selfish, we're being inconsiderate. We don't want to do that, because that's not loving our fellow brothers and sisters. It's not honoring Christ. Number 8, keep your word. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, then you're going to do it. Good example. I know I was behind like 4 days on posting, but I said I was going to do it, so I have to keep my word and do it, despite how I may feel, what I may have going on. I have to do what I'm supposed to do. And that's just with anybody or anything. If you say you're going to do something, honor your vows. Don't take that lightly. It's something serious. It's not only does it build character, but it's, again, honoring God. If he tells us he's going to do something, he's going to do it. He doesn't change what he's going to say or what he's going to do. So we have to be more Christ-like. Going the extra mile. I think that is the hardest for anybody to do. Well, most people to do. Because it means you have to come out of your shell. If somebody come ask you for money, I know The biggest thing that irks me, one time quick story, I was working at a gas station where people would always come in and they would need a few dollars, or, they would be begging for change. And I was just always that person to just give, give, give. And other people wouldn't. And I remember my coworker was like, well, why would you do that? You don't know this and you don't know that. You don't know what they're spending with money. You could be doing this. I said, because they said they need it. This is the type of person I was before I even started understanding more of the word. But I just said he needed it. Well, long story short, because this one guy, this is the one situation where she said I shouldn't have did what I did, but he asked me for a couple of dollars, and I gave him my last to help him buy food out of the store for him and his brother. He came back maybe a month or two later, and he tells me how he was able to get a good job in an apartment for him and his brother and a car, because they were at the time was homeless and didn't have a car, but one brother was trying to work, the other one was mentally challenged. To me, that warmed my heart, because I gave him hope that there is still good people out there. And I went the extra mile. He asked for a couple dollars. I gave him more than a couple dollars. It kills me when people act like they can't do something for somebody because they're so worried about what they had. That was my last in my pocket, I think. I don't really remember. However, I wasn't concerned with that. If more people start doing for other people, and going the extra mile, whether it be monetary, whether it be just in comfort and love and support, when you go that extra mile, it puts you in a position where you're opening the door for your blessings. Yeah, I have, I'm not super rich yet, but I've been able to sustain. God's been providing for me because I've went that extra mile for other people. If somebody needs me, even if I'm having a bad day myself, I can still be there for somebody else. That's going the extra mile. Somebody needs something. Okay, well, I'm coming. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z within my means. If I can't do X, Y, and Z within my means, then I can find a way or a solution for you to get what you need. That's going the extra mile. So we have to be mindful of that as well. So just go the extra mile. Just extend love to people. Extend compassion. And if somebody asks you for something and you could do it, do it. If you can't figure out a way to. So basically that was our 4 that I missed. Be reconciled, right your wrongs, do not lust, because we don't want to be disobedient and selfish. Keep your word. If you say you're going to do something, then do it. And then just go the extra mile, be a little bit more compassionate, give a little bit more. So those are our 4 from our 48-day obedience challenge. Again, follow me on Facebook so you can keep up with those challenges. Share, because you're such a light to the world. You don't know who's watching. Love on your fellow brothers and sisters. Again, we're proudly standing. Stay tuned for the interview. Tomorrow is the first one, so that'll be up within a couple of days. It'll be shared in a couple pages, and it'll be on here as well. You definitely want to stay tuned. It is just not me speaking, it's somebody else, and it's giving you their perspective on things, how they handle things, how they deal with things. It's just so encouraging. It's so educational. You guys really want to be there for it. And I know the first one that I do is the one that I am so excited for, because that's the one that's like, whoa. So be tuned for that. And then the round table is going to be up and going very soon. And the Standing Proud book, which is basically the manual for a lot of us, that is almost completed and should be on shelves by the end of April. So look for that. A lot of people have been asking about that. It should be finished by the end of this week and out on shelves by the end of the month. So I love you guys. Proudly standing. Remember, 48-day challenge. It's not a challenge. It's just relearning things, regrouping, and renewing ourselves. Love you. Chat with you later, forever and always.